All right, today is Tuesday, June 13th, and we're going to take a look at the Euro USD and what's been happening in the market lately. Today we had a pretty decent up move, and I'm going to continue on from the last video I did um, in the short positions I was holding. So, just to let me see if I could use the replay tool real quick here. All right, so looking back here, so I was talking about this median level being an important level to see what the price action was going to do since I started building short positions. I believe it was somewhere up here, and I just started adding more and more on the way down. So my initial target was down here at 1.06, and looking at this previous um, pivotal zone right in here. So I was looking for the market to get down here and then potentially have a an opportunity to go long, and I'll show you guys the reason I was looking at that in just a second. But if I remove this, I was started to hold all these short positions, and as the market was heading to the downside, I mentioned a trend line that I was watching to see if this market was going to continue much lower or it was going to try to, pull back into this median level. Okay, and the reason I was looking at this level, let me just put this trend line out. It's taking this resistance down to this support here, and this was one to watch. You can see how the market started finding support right over here. So as it started developing, and we had that nice little bounce off of this support. Then this was pretty interesting to me because I was looking for this to break, but one of the key things that started making me believe that the bears may take a break from the downside was the fact that the price couldn't close below this trend line. And I'm very big on waiting for the price to close at the end of the day to see what even if the market makes a big move during all the early mornings of New York session or even the London session, if the market, at the very end, at the end of the daily candle close, I want to see what is the final verdict on that candle. So just the fact that it couldn't close below this trend line made me a little, hesitant to add any short positions or do anything for any additional positions. I was just going to hold on to my shorts. And then at this point, I figured that we were potentially going to come up and test uh, this median level right over here, this dotted line. So I still thought the market was pretty weak. And of course, there you go. The market took this trend line and bounced off of it pretty hard. So again, I didn't want to add any short positions or make any big decisions of whether I should stay in the trade or not. I wanted to see first what this market was going to do at this level right over here. Now it gets pretty interesting. And by the way, I did close all my short positions. Um, I ended up with a small profit, unfortunately, since I had shorts all through here, and then I was up pretty nicely. I was aiming for about 700 pips overall across all the positions. Obviously, it didn't happen, but I was still holding some short positions from this area right over here because I wanted to see what happens in this median level. If you can look back here, you can see there was obvious reactions. There was a reaction here, the reaction over here. The market came down and bounced a little bit, and now we're heading up into this zone again. So once we hit this, I started feeling more confident in the downside. Said, okay, came up as predicted. We're looking for this level here to bounce off of and then continue to the downside. Now, again, I didn't want to jump the gun and add any short positions or any additional positions because I just figured all the short positions are already nicely set. So I didn't want to mess around with that. And then, of course, the market starts up and down, just doing its thing, not really making any major moves. So I was in this trade for a little while, but once I saw that it didn't want to, the market didn't want to get below this, right? This whole, you can see these wicks down here. The market refused to come down and test this, either test this trend line again or break it to the downside and then come down to this pivotal zone right over here. And of course, you had this really strong up move. Now, at this point, I didn't want to close any short positions yet because I wanted to see what the market was going to do here. Even though we came right back up into this level and we closed higher than this, I wanted to see if there was still going to be a major reaction, maybe a push to the upside and then make another move down, or it was just going to fluctuate here. Now, we had, I think, CPI numbers today, which really pushed the market to the upside. But um, I was watching another trend line that made me gave me like, kind of like a barrier if I should hold this trade or not. So I'll draw that out now. So again, I use my support and resistance tool. I take this ultimate low down here and connect it to this level here. And I said, I'm not going to add any short positions, but I want to see if the market comes up to this trend line, is it going to reverse? Is it going to go past it? What is it going to do here at this trend line here? So if we move forward, again, it didn't get up there. So again, I started feeling like maybe this market was going to roll over and then we could continue down to this downside, to this support zone. And here we are today, or right now, I should say. So ultimately, the market did get up there and found resistance. Um, Earlier today, I closed all short positions, still made out with a small profit, which of course it sucks because all the way down here, the positions were sitting very nice in profit and I was targeting here. But that's going to happen sometimes. There's no reason to get all worked up about it and say, oh, I wish I could have, when it comes to trading, hindsight 2020, we always look back and be like, oh, this is, if I would have got out here, it would have been perfect. Doesn't always work out that way, right? So right now, what I'm looking at is this resistance level. Now, after I got out all my shorts, once the market came up to, I think, 1.0812, right at this trend line, I opened up another short position. But once it came down, I just booked it for 20 pips of profit. And then I decided that I'm going to wait till tomorrow since we have the FOMC meeting, the interest rate decisions, things to get a little volatile. And I didn't want to risk staying in this trade, whether, I prefer to wait to see what's going to happen tomorrow and, maybe look for another opportunity there. So this, right now, what it looks like to me, and again, I'm not in any positions now, but this is what I'm looking for. So after this initial move, let me get the right tool here. After this initial move here, market consolidated a lot and pulled back right up into this trend line. Anything could happen tomorrow with the FOMC in terms of price action. Okay, we could have a big, move to the upside, or this. I'm going to be watching this trend line to see if we can break above this or if he kept back up and then start rolling over for another leg down, right? This will be the initial leg, the consolidation or pullback, and then the one more leg down. So I want to watch to see what's going to happen with that. Um, I, I I didn't feel comfortable holding this because usually with this type of candle and this big wick on the to the upside, I feel that the market's going to try to make another attempt to the upside, and that makes perfect sense. Meaning tomorrow's going to be that FOMC, so I rather wait to see if they're going to make another big attempt and then create another wick for an opportunity to the short side, or it's just going to make one big push to the upside and then crush and take out, every anybody who's holding short. So I prefer to wait and see what happens tomorrow after the interest rate and FOMC meeting. And that's going to be it, really. I mean, that's basically what I'm looking at right now. Um, so just quickly, these levels here, they're not, even though sometimes the market does stop on a dime around these levels, I love using these levels, in this case, these long-term median levels, because it gives me a zone to see if the market wants to get way above this zone or below it, and it gives me a good read on if I want to get short or long, or if I should hold the trade, right? And yeah, that's pretty much it for the Euro USD. Tomorrow, you know, we're going to see what happens and to see how the price action reacts. You guess you always got to be careful when it comes to the FOMC meeting, and all that price action will get really volatile and fake you out or whipsaw you out or whatever the case is. But right now, this looks like you know 50-50. I'm not sure. We can make a big move to the upside, or we could this could be a just a consolidation and then we roll over for another leg to the downside. One more thing before I end this analysis is you can see this. I think I mentioned this in the last analysis video I did. So with the hidden divergence, this is the was looking at this. This was the ultimate low. But if I pull up my divergence tool, okay, you have this low here, and then potentially we don't know if this is the low yet, but we have the MACD making that lower low in the RSI. Okay, we don't want to really look at the indicator itself. We want to look at the price action and what was the lowest point. And in this case, this was the lowest point. So around with that trend line I showed before, when I had drawn out this support, that probably caused a lot of buyers to come in here. And you can also see um, the hidden divergence, or again, I call it trend continuation divergence on the MACD and the RSI. And that would have been, if you were on the long side, that would have been a nice reason to go long here, at least to this level up here to test previous support. But we'll see what happens. Again, if we get an opportunity to move to the downside and get short again for another big move to the downside, that'll also qualify as a hidden divergence or a trend continuation divergence, because that just means that uh, the MACD and the RSI will probably make another low or a slightly lower low, and that'll be a good setup to take advantage of. So with that said, we'll see what happens tomorrow, and trade safe. Always manage the risk. That's one of the most important things in trading, if not the most important thing, right? Because if you don't have any capital to trade, then what's the use, right? You won't be able to trade, as they say, live another day. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this analysis, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. If you would like to get in contact with me, you can head over to internaltrader.com. You can fill out the newsletter if you'd like, or if you would like to get direct coaching from me, you can head over to internaltrader.com/VIP coaching. You can book a free 30-minute call with me, and I can describe all the things here in the webpage and offer you some insight and guidance on if this program is suitable for you. So please reach out if you would like to get help on your trading, specifically Forex swing trading, and I will be more than happy to help you out. Good luck.